Hello and welcome to the pregame show. Jets Browns, what's going on? I'm Matt O'Leary, joined as always by my good friend Connor Long. Connor, how's it going, my friends?
Matt, I am doing well. Today is going to be an interesting game, not because it is most likely going to be a slugfest between two god-awful football teams, but it's going to be the first time in 5 years Quinnen Williams is not a New York Jet. It's going to be the first time since the 2022 NFL draft. I mean, we already saw it happen. Just seeing Sauce Gardner in that Colts
It's
uniform
weird.
now is a ridiculous feel.
It is really weird. I have the game on in the background, and even like just seeing them practice and seeing them in the facilities of the Cowboys and the Colts was just really bizarre. And clearly, like, we're going to talk about the game, obviously, but that's feels like the furthest thing on everyone's mind right now. Everyone's talking about this trade return that they got, the quarterbacks that they watched yesterday. And, there's still 9 games left. Season's just reaching the halfway point right now. There's a lot of football left to be played, but all eyes seem to be on the future for this Jets football team.
Yeah, most definitely. Whether that be Fernando Mendoza, who led a heroic game winning drive yesterday against Penn State, or even the potential for trading for a quarterback. The Jets have all these first round picks. They have so many different routes that they can take with these draft picks. I heard Adam Schefter go out and not rule out a Joe Burrow trade. I'm not going to sit here and clamor for the Jets to trade for Joe Burrow. I mean, if he becomes available, that's an opportunity they certainly have to explore. But I think the chances of the Bengals actually coming to a point where they want to sell Joe Burrow, I don't see a world where that happens anytime soon. But yeah, that was an opening line for me in an article earlier this week. The attention from this fan base as the Jets sit at 1-8 after they had a full-blown fire sale on Tuesday has shifted off the remainder of this year and kind of into the offseason. I think the overarching takeaway from this week, Matt, the trade deadline in particular, is the one and done talks can stop. The Jets can finish the year 1-16. I'm being dead serious when I say this. I think if the Jets finish 1-16, it won't matter. Glenn and Muji will still be back if the Jets lose every game the remainder of the season. They're going to have time to build their plan. And I think that's the biggest takeaway. They're going to be safe for the rest of this year. They're going to be safe for all of next year and probably the year after that. So they just sold Woody Johnson a new master plan that is going to be a multi-year rebuild in which they most likely select a quarterback either high in this year's draft or next year's draft. And look, at the end of the day, I think Darren Muji fleeced both the Colts and the Dallas Cowboys in both those trades. I love Sauce Gardner. I said this on the emergency pod right away. It sucks to see Sauce go. It's terrible. Nobody expected it. He embodies what it is to be a New York Jet, an all-pro on and off the field. But at the end of the day, the return that the Jets got was too good to pass up on 2 first-round picks, Matt, and a receiver who was a second-round pick just a year ago, who I think legitimately poses real upside and someone who could be a game changer for this Jets offensive unit that has struggled all season long to produce behind Garrett Wilson at the wide receiver position. With Quinnen Williams, the guy requested a trade on 3 separate occasions. He didn't want to be here. He wanted to rework his contract. The Jets weren't down for it. I think the Quinnen deal was the best one of them all when it comes to value. You got a first and a second round pick, plus a former first rounder in exchange for still a very good player. But let's be honest, someone who's kind of regressed year in and year out over the past couple seasons and is getting up there in age, 27 years old. I really, really, really like both of these trades for what the future holds. But at the end of the day, fans have every right to have a level of concern. Do we trust Darren Muji and Aaron Glenn to make these picks? This will make or break their legacy in Florham Park, Matt.
Yeah, that's just it, right? Like, I think every fan has the right and the justification to be bummed out that, Quinnen Williams, who's been here since 2019, has been a good player and a good soldier on a lot of really bad football teams. To see him go, it stings. Sauce Gardner, taken second in 4th overall in 2022, wins Defensive Rookie of the Year, is a 2-time All-Pro, a face of the franchise kind of guy. I totally understand the fans who are, upset to see those guys go. And I think the feelings are totally valid because it's we're fans at the end of the
Yeah.
day. We like these players, and while at the same time you could admit that the return that they got for both those guys is very good, like you just rattled off there, they're going to have 2 first-round picks this year, 2 second-round picks this year, 3 first-round picks in
Yeah.
2027. Like that's exciting times, but it stinks to see, 2 guys who, were so good for your team go. And I think now, like I kind of said at the top of this show, all eyes are on this Jets future because most important thing is they have to hit on the quarterback, whether, like you said, it's either this year or next year or trading for a veteran, whatever the case is. And they have to put the right pieces around the quarterback. And at least with these trades, you have an opportunity to do some real damage in reshaping the roster.
Absolutely. I think the biggest thing here, Matt, is the Jets got to the trade deadline, and while Darren Mushi says this isn't an absolute tear down, and they've had these conversations since week 4, this is a full rebuild. The Jets and Aaron Glenn went into this year thinking this roster had talent and maybe they could finagle something in the first half of the season. Clearly, that was not the case under any circumstance whatsoever. And the Jets were 1-7 at the trade deadline, and they decided to pretty much blow it up. They wanted a fresh start. They wanted to reset, and they did just that. Now, do they not only have the capital to get their quarterback, but they have the capital to, like you mentioned, build that infrastructure around the quarterback so he can come in and have success right away. Matt, I think that's the biggest thing. When you look at the top teams that are going to be in the, big fish hunting for the quarterback in April, it's going to be the Saints. It's going to be the Dolphins. It's going to potentially be a team like the Cardinals, depending on how bad that they play. The Browns, who the Jets are playing today, are going to be in that hunt. And I think the Jets are the most appealing destination for a young quarterback out of all those teams for 2 things: wide receiver and offensive line. Those other teams have no offensive line whatsoever. A rookie quarterback goes in there, he's going to get killed right away. And let's be real, the Jets offense isn't perfect, but for a rookie quarterback, especially with all these picks they have, they can get an elite wide receiver within the top 45 of this year's draft. The Jets have 3 picks in the top 50 of this year's draft as of now. So the Jets can really, really do some damage with those picks. I just think at the end of the day, the conversation that I was having on my show last night, Matt, is how good is Fernando Mendoza? That's the question I think we all have to ask ourselves as fans continue to clamor and talk about him. I think Mendoza's a very good player. I don't think he is a generational talent who comes in right away and alters your franchise. I don't think he's the Cam Newton. I don't think he, is that organizational changer right out of the gate. I don't think he's what, scouts viewed Kyler Murray when he went number 1 overall. I think he's a very, very, very good player, but he's not the flashy guy who's going to come in and win you a Super Bowl year 1.
No, and it's still, to me right now, I feel like the 2 big names we're looking at are Mendoza and Ty Simpson.
Yeah.
I think there's a good chance Dante Moore goes back to school. I think John Mateer and Sellers could also go back. And I'm not right now, to be truly honest with you, I have Mendoza slightly ahead of Ty Simpson, but there's still a lot of college football left, right? Like both those guys are going to be playing, in an SEC championship game. They'll be playing in the college football playoff, and I think there's a lot to learn from both those guys still. So, like, I'm not saying it's absolutely Mendoza or it's absolutely Ty Simpson right now. I'm just excited to see how the rest of it plays out, and who knows, because like we see in the chat here, I wanted to pull up this comment from Sean Kenny. It doesn't matter. We got to start winning. And if we win with what we have, it makes the draft that much better. The point that I wanted to bring up was the win. There's still 9 games left that the Jets are playing.
Yeah.
They have the number 3 pick now. They could finish higher than 3. They could finish picking lower than 3. We don't know where they're going to end up drafting this year.
And I'm not giving up multiple assets to move up for a player like Fernando Mendoza, Matt. Like, I think Mendoza is going to be taken in the top 3. Let's say the Jets end up picking at 9. We'll say they win 6 games or whatever, which I think they're going to win under 6 games. But for the sake of this exercise, let's say they win 6 games. They're picking 9th overall. How much really would the Jets be willing to give up to go ahead and get their guy? I don't want this rebuild to be rushed. If their guy is not in this draft class, trade for him or wait until 2027. I don't want this I don't want this rebuild to cut corners. And when you talk about trading for a quarterback, Matt, we can kind of dive into this next before we preview the game. There are a lot of names that have been tossed out there. Kyler Murray, CJ Stroud, Trevor Lawrence are some of the names I've seen involved. And then Joe Burrow, obviously being the big fish in that pond. At the end of the day, I think that trading for Joe Burrow is out of the picture. Sure, there's a possibility for everything. And if he does become available, you have to consider it, because when he's on the field, he's a top 3 quarterback in the sport. But at the end of the day, I don't think he becomes available. So you can kind of cross that off the list. I think trading for Kyler Murray would be an utter disaster. If you look at his contract and all the calculations, it would pretty much be a 1-year, $39 million tryout on the Jets cap. So it would cost you a lot of money, and he continues to get beat up year in and year out. He continues to regress as a passer, regress as a rusher, turn the ball over more and more every single season. I just think this regime needs to take their guy and develop him from the draft. They need their own guy. I'm not clamoring over the trade market.
Yeah, I just don't think the Jets trade away to, guys in their prime and then are going to turn around and use those assets to trade for a quarterback that's more win now. Maybe they do. Maybe they prove me wrong, but I think they're really looking to build this thing from the ground up, and that likely means with a rookie quarterback, and that could be either this year or next year. I don't necessarily want the Jets to force it. If they're picking in a spot and they like either Fernando Mendoza or Ty Simpson, that's fine, and they don't have to trade up for him. That's totally fine. If you want to draft him, I'm good with that. I'm comfortable enough for either one of those guys. And maybe there's a world where they decide, you know what, we're not sold on whoever's available, or they win a couple more games and they have like the 5th pick and both those guys are gone. Then I think you kind of just either continue to roll with Justin Fields, find another stopgap guy for a year, and worry about it in 2027.
Yeah, absolutely. When you talk about the stopgap options, everyone's like, well, who's going to be the stopgap? If those guys grow on trees, you could find anyone to be a stopgap quarterback. Joe Flacco can come off his couch. Jacoby Brissett can play. Carson Wentz can play. Tyrod Taylor, you can re-sign. Tyrod Taylor's an interesting one. People talk about re-signing him. I see a world where he could potentially retire by the end of this season. I think he still has some left in the tank. I think he is a guy who could play another 5 seasons in the league as a backup. He's 36 years old. I think he could play until he's 40, 41. Just given because there's not much strain on him, right? He starts 3-4 games a year. He didn't start a single game last season. But he's someone I look at who might want to hang up the cleats by the end of this season. So he's an interesting name to watch when it comes to retirement. But at the end of the day, you can find a stopgap option anywhere. Bottom line, don't want to watch the Jets rush this rebuild. And today's going to be an interesting game, Matt, when it comes to how their rebuild shapes up, because the Browns are a team expected to pick very, very high in the draft, just like the Jets, a 2-6 team right now with drama at the quarterback position every single week, just like the Jets, of course. And if you start on the Jets side of things, Adam Schefter reporting Justin Fields likely to be the Jets starter today. That's not a surprise for me. I mean, Aaron Glenn was in disgust by the question of benching Justin Fields after he had -10 net passing yards, and after Fields and his offense scored 39 points and got their first win of the season just 2 Sundays ago against the Cincinnati Bengals. I didn't have a doubt in my mind that he would be starting today against the Cleveland Browns, and I think it's the right decision.
Yeah, I mean, the last time we saw him against Cincinnati, that was one of Justin Fields' better games. They're coming off a win. Tyrod Taylor's been banged up. It doesn't really make sense to make the transition at this point. And, that's not to say that maybe, there's a lot of football left. 9 games is a lot. You still might get a chance where Tyrod starts. We might see a Brady Cook start at some point this year. If you're a Brady Cookster, hold out hope. You might see him at some point. But for now, look, I think it makes the most sense for him to get the start. And Justin Fields, Dylan Gabriel, I don't know how many, butts in the seats that's putting. It might be a little empty at MetLife today, especially because I think there was rain in the forecast originally. So I don't know about you, but I know we've spent like the first 15 minutes of the show, which is very funny, talking about the Jets future on a pregame live show, but we got to get into this game a little bit. I don't expect either offense to really do a whole lot in this game.
No, not at all. I think this is, I'll give my final score prediction later, but I think this is like a 14-11 type game. Like I view this as like the Broncos game in London. Or like even the Broncos game in week 4 of last year, awful weather conditions, terrible quarterback play, and just an overall dogfight, which is the opposite of what I want, Matt. Frankly, the Jets, I'm so happy the Jets won last week, but like that game was just so entertaining
Yeah, it was
in
fun.
itself 2 weeks ago of that being and look, the play calling was innovative, except the Brees Hall crack toss on 4th and 2, I believe it was, by Tanner Engstrand when they decided to go for it. So last week, 2 weeks ago, excuse me, the Jets' last game was a super, super fun game. And that's what we want as fans the rest of the year. And Aaron Glenn, Matt, we saw him go up to the podium this week and just entirely walk back the comments that he made over the offseason of, oh, I want this to be a team that fans are proud of. And then he had to clarify and say, well, I didn't say they were going to be proud of it. The product that being right away. This is a nightmare, Matt. We can't have this guy in front of a microphone anymore. It's utterly ridiculous. And at the end of the day, winning cures all. So the Jets have to stack up these wins before the end of the season.
No, they absolutely do. I think I feel a little less strongly that this regime needs to win games down the stretch to prove like that they're going to be here, or that they deserve to. I think it still helps in the like they deserve to be here department, but
Yeah.
there's after these trades they're going to be here. Like they're not, Woody Johnson's not pulling the plug after the coach and GM acquired all these picks over the next 2 years. It's going to be here for the long haul for better or worse. I wanted to pull up. I saw this tweet from Seth Walder. I know there's going to be a talking point for a lot of people. So the percentage of the number 1 pick in this game, if for whoever the winner is versus the loser. So the Browns with a win would have a 6% chance to land the number 1 pick. With a loss, it goes to 27. The Jets with a win, 8%. With a loss, also 27% in this one. So for the tank crowd, I know this is going to be something that they want to know and want to see.
Tanking does not work. I repeat, Matt, I appreciate you pulling up this metric absolutely, because that brings me to kind of, one of the points that I think I should have made earlier about with these quarterbacks and tanking. I don't know where you stand, but I think tanking is ridiculous. It doesn't happen in the NFL, number one. And number two, it doesn't work. The number 1 overall pick, sure, that gives you the highest chance of not effing up whoever you select. But at the end of the day, the number 1 overall pick, historically speaking, since the mid 2000s, hasn't really resulted in Super Bowls. Sure, you've seen Cam Newton, you've seen good players like that, but if you look at the past few years, Trevor Lawrence, a very good quarterback, not number 1 overall pick good under any circumstance. Bryce Young, barely holds on to a starting job in Carolina, despite them having a stronger start to the season. And a lot of these guys who were taken number 1 overall, especially in recent years, just don't work out. So I think that's what I'm trying to get across to fans, like who are rooting for losses. I'm not going to tell a fan how to fan, but at the end of the day, the number 1 overall pick is not the biggest deal. Cam Ward, number 1 overall pick this year. He's terrible. Granted, he doesn't have a great surrounding cast. Caleb Williams hasn't lived up to the number 1 overall hype. Kyler Murray was the number 1 overall pick just a few years ago. Guys, the number 1 overall pick does not automatically equate to success. How about this? The quarterback who has been in the Super Bowl 2 out of 3 past seasons and just won Super Bowl MVP in February was a second-round pick, for crying out loud. I'm tired of the tank crowd and listening that tanking is the best course of action for this Jets team. They have to win games, and tanking does not work because the number 1 overall pick doesn't matter.
I'm not gonna sit here and like actively root against the Jets while they're playing their next 9 games, but I'm at the same time I'm also not going to be upset if there is a loss, right? Like I just don't think I don't have it in me to get emotional one way or the other,
Yeah.
with a win or a loss. I think you kind of just have to let it play out and react to how it comes, right? Like at least for what we do, we talk about this team every single day, and like if they win, I'm going to be on the post game talking about the things that they did well. And like, I just don't have it in me to be like, oh, they beat the Browns today. Their future's screwed. They have no chance to turn it around. good teams and good organizations find a way. I know that the good organizations and the New York Jets probably shouldn't be in the same sentence. I understand, but it's on this GM and this coaching staff to find their guy no matter what the situation is, as you just laid out, right? Like Jalen Hurts, second round pick. Josh Allen wasn't the first quarterback taken in his draft class. Patrick Mahomes wasn't the first quarterback taken in his draft class. I know, Joe Burrow goes number 1 overall, but Justin Herbert was the third quarterback taken. He's a pretty damn good quarterback. I'd like to have a Justin Herbert on my football team. Drake May wasn't the first quarterback taken. Jaden Daniels wasn't the first quarterback taken. So you could always find a way. But like we said, going back to the beginning, that doesn't mean that you have to force it. Just take your time, go through your process, and most importantly, put a good team around him. I think they're on their way offensively. They're not there yet. I like Garrett Wilson as a number 1 target. I like where the offensive line is trending. And just continue to add, they need more wide receivers. They need to make sure the offensive line shirt up. You have your decision with Breece Hall to make in this offseason. So just put whoever they do decide to have at quarterback in the best position to succeed.
This game is also important, Matt, because on Thursday, it's a short week for the Jets. Keep that in mind. On Thursday night, they're playing the New England Patriots on Thursday Night Football, a nationally televised game against the division rival. And the Patriots are a very good football team. This is going to be a test for the Jets because the last time were they not only on national television, but international television, they got absolutely embarrassed by the Denver Broncos. I think prime time is going to be a big test for the Jets on Thursday. And I think if they win today, they can get on that 2-game win streak. That'll mean so much for this locker room, especially after they just traded away 2 of their star players. So look, I mean, if this team could string together a little win streak, we're not talking about playoffs. We're not talking about anything like that. We're just talking about for the morale of this team and the morale of the fan base overall to potentially watch some winning football. At first, I predicted the Jets to win 8 games this year. I could say that that's probably off the table by now, Matt. But at the same time, I did go back and I looked at my schedule prediction in my JetX official season preview, and I had the Jets starting 1-5 and then 2-5 2-6 entering the bye week. So I was really only 1 game off with my prediction for them entering the bye week, and I did still have them finishing with 8 games, but I'm sure 8 wins, but I'm sure if I did go back and revise that based on what I've seen, I'd probably, turn some of those wins into L's on the second half of the schedule.
Yeah, no, I get it. And I don't expect them to win 8 games. I picked them at 7. I don't think they're getting to 7. Well, honestly, again, I think we just have to see how it plays out, man. Like, I just don't have it in me to get too high or too low after wins or losses at this point. Just again, it's figure it out wherever you are. Just find a way to get it right. It's as simple as that. Because we've seen teams miss. Oh, Daniel Jones just fumbled. Sorry. We are actively hate watching.
Yeah, I'm a little behind because you have it on a TV. I have it streamed on NFL Plus. I'm about to play behind. I just saw the Jonathan Taylor run. So thank you for the update. And yes, hate watching for the Colts as they lose, as they're currently down 17-13 to the Falcons. So there we go. Yes, because that draft pick's going to be important, Matt. Like that could either be used to get a premier playmaker, or that could be used as ammunition to trade up or trade for a quarterback. So yeah, every first round pick the Jets have over the next few years are important. And when you talk about this game in general, staying with it, the younger guys on this team, I think this is an important game for Breece Hall, right, Matt? Because at the end of the day, Breece Hall is competing for his next contract with the Jets or another team. He needs to find that deal, whether it's with the Jets or another team on the open market. Where do you stand right now on bringing back Breece Hall, and how much do a game like today or the final games of the year impact your decision?
I would like to see him finish the season strong. I think he's on pace for 1,200 rushing yards, which that'd be a really nice season. He finally got in the end zone a couple times last week. It only takes one sometimes to get the dam to start to break. I don't know. I'm not going to go nuts and say, oh, he's going to finish with 10 touchdowns now. Probably not the case, but can you get to like 1,200 yards, 6 touchdowns? I think that's a fair ask. And after they didn't trade him, to me, I think you have to bring him back. To me, it doesn't make any sense to not trade him and then just let him walk in free agency.
Yeah, I'm actually looking up the price for it right now. I'm thinking the transition tag with Brees Hall. So the value for the running back transition tag for this season was 9.7 million for one season. So assume that'll be like around the 10 range for the 2026 season. That's what I'd go. I'm not paying Brees Hall, a 3-4 year extension like Kyron Williams and James Cook, because these running backs get beat up quickly. They get run into the ground. I don't want to take that path with Brees Hall. I don't think paying him, I don't think he's in that same realm as a Kyron or a James Cook. So I wouldn't go that far, but I'd certainly transition tag him because you want to be able to retain him, in my opinion, for at least one more season. And by utilizing that transition tag on him, Matt, you're able to do just that. So I'd say transition tag Brees Hall. There are some clear character issues with him. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of who he is when it comes to, character with the cryptic social media posts all the time. Did you hear what they said on the broadcast last week? Not last week, against Cincinnati, though, when they were talking about, I think the sideline reporter jumped in and was talking about a Brees Hall trade. And she said when they spoke to him earlier in the week, he said if he got traded, quote, "I will kill them," referring to the Jets. And I started dying laughing. At the end of the day, that's what running backs do. That's what's annoying me most out of the NFL, Matt. Like, when you just look at the league from a big picture, it's not really a team sport anymore. Like, it's just every guy kind of going out there and playing for their next contract. For the most part, it's becoming the NBA. That's what the NFL is turning into with all these different divas in the league. So to make a long answer short, I'd bring Brees Hall back on the transition tag.
Yeah, and that makes a lot of sense, right? It's 1 year, a little over $11 million, I believe, on the transition tag.
Yeah, it was 9.7 this season, so I'd assume it's around like 10 or 11 for the 2026 season.
Okay, I looked it up before on Over the Cap. It's just projections right now. I think.
Okay. Oh, yes.
So it's 11. They projected it as 11 and change. I don't remember what the exact number was.
11,067,000. That's what it was, and then the franchise would be 13 million.
Okay.
So I think you have to go with trend. To be for full transparency, I'm not too familiar with the difference between the franchise and transition tags. All I know is they're each 1 year long, and you get an extra year of team control on that player, because Brees is someone we've been talking about for a few years now, because unlike Garrett Wilson, unlike Sauce Gardner at the time, Jermaine Johnson, Brees doesn't have the 5th year option because he was a 2nd round pick compared to those guys who were all selected in the 1st round. Then Jermaine Johnson comes into play. The Jets held on to him. I think he's played very, very, very well when he's been on the field. I think that's a guy you need to start having those potential discussions with after this year. You don't have to do it right away because he's under contract with the 5th year option for next season, but he's certainly a guy I'd consider.
Connor, I don't want to cut you off again, but
let's hear it.
Sauce Gardner just dropped an interception.
Oh my God. Oh my God! Thank you for the update again. I'm behind.
You'll see it in a second.
Oh my God! Michael Penix drops back. Oh my God! That was like the Cowboys one, Matt. That was like the Cowboys one in week 2 of whatever year that was, 2 years ago. Remember that when he jumped the gun? Oh my God! Oh my! On Drake London too. He had that in his hands. Oh my God! Jets already winning this deal, Matt. Sauce Gardner, bottom 10 cornerback in the NFL. We're already signing off on it.
Yep. Oh God. I like Sauce.
I love Sauce. Yeah.
I love Sauce, but that sequence back to back, the Daniel Jones fumble right into a Sauce dropped interception that's just what dreams are made of.
That would have been a pick 6 too. That would have given them the lead. Oh my God.
Yeah, see, Harry says it. Sauce just dropped an easy pick.
My God.
Indy's asking about the inactive list.
Around 11:30. Actually, like right around now.
Yeah, usually right around now. I'll do a quick look on.
Yeah, no, I don't. Oh, they just came out actually. Perfect timing. AD Mitchell inactive. Wow.
Really?
We're gonna pull it up. Sorry for the spoiler there. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have it, Matt?
Oh, yeah. I got it. We'll pull it up right now.
Oh my God.
I guess just maybe didn't have enough time to learn the playbook.
I guess so.
I'm a little surprised by that. Alan Lazard, AD Mitchell, Khalil Herbert, Kiko Mauingoa, Xavier Newman, Jelani Woods, and Tyler Barron are the inactives.
Yeah, this is a really weird list. I don't think AD maybe didn't have time to learn the playbook, but then okay, so why is Mozzie Smith active? They were acquired the same day. Lazard, I think, is just a healthy scratch, right? I don't think he had an injury designation
No.
this week. Herbert, healthy scratch.
So that means I guess John Mechie's going to play, right?
Mechie will play, yes. Maui Noah is interesting, right? Because the Jets, Quincy Williams is benched now for whatever crazy reason that could be. And Maui Noah is injured, so he can't play. Who is starting at linebacker today, Matt? Can we take a Cam Jones? Are we going to see Michael Walker? Who on God's green earth could be starting at linebacker today for the Jets with Quincy Williams benched?
Jamie Sherwood and
Michael Walker, Cam Jones,
Cam Jones. I'm gonna guess Cam Jones.
Why bench Quincy, man? I don't think we got into that. That's what I want. Why bench Quincy? You could bench so many guys on this team. If you're gonna bench him, just get rid of him at this point. I know you don't want to bring him back. Just get rid of him at this point. Why bench the guy who's a leader, who gives you 110% every single snap? That is a decision that I do not understand.
No, I don't get that one.
Yeah, Jamarcus Weston, Matt, today potentially starting at linebacker for the Jets.
Yeah. I know Quincy hasn't been great, but I think it's fair to say that he's been better than Jamie Sherwood's looked this year.
Oh, most definitely. And again, he's given you the he's given you the 110%. He's given you that fire every single snap. As Brian Casella tweets out, with Quincy Williams bench, I expect Michael Walker to start at linebacker today. So really digging into the bag there for Michael Walker to be starting for the Jets at linebacker today.
We'll give our best shot out there. That's all we could do, right?
Most definitely. And now with AD Mitchell being inactive, what do you think John Mechie's role looks like today? Because he's now had a few weeks to kind of learn this playbook, obviously acquired right before, right into the bye week after the Cincinnati game. So he's had time to learn the playbook, kind of build that chemistry with Justin Fields. What does his role look like? Garrett Wilson back out on the field today. How do you expect the Jets target share to look post deadline?
I think he should get a decent amount of targets in this game, right? I don't know how much it serves you to, have him included in the trade and then not see what he can give you, right? You're 1-7. You just traded 2 of your 4 best players. I want to see as much as we can from John Mechie. And he's a former 2nd-round pick too, right? Clearly, had the leukemia diagnosis and he's dealt with injuries at this level, but let's see, he's on an expiring deal, so it's not like he's on the roster next year. I think you gotta find out one way or the other if he's a fit for your offense or not.
Yeah, and it's been anything but smooth for John Mechie since entering the league. The leukemia diagnosis after being a 2nd-round pick in the summer of 2022 erases his whole rookie year, and then he's kind of just been buried in Philadelphia. He was buried in his first stop with the Houston Texans. I think this is his real opportunity to earn snaps and earn an opportunity to play today. And, not only today, but the rest of the season, kind of get this little tryout with the Jets. And look, he's a restricted free agent at the end of the year because of the leukemia diagnosis. So the Jets have the opportunity to match any and all offers. That's what I liked about a lot of the guys they brought in, especially AD Mitchell. AD Mitchell is under contract through 2027, Matt. That upside there is just through the roof, man. And I'm intrigued to see. I'm sure they'll ask Glenn about it either post game or tomorrow as to why he was inactive. I'm assuming it's because he didn't have time to learn the playbook. Jelani Woods, Tyler Barron, man. Tyler Barron, that's someone the Jets traded up for. They traded up into the 5th round for Tyler Barron, and I love the pick. I said that was my favorite value selection of the draft. I thought he was going to come in and be a difference maker for the Jets. He can't even find a way onto the field in an edge room that contains Michael Clemens as a base starter.
Yeah, it's been a real tough go for Tyler Barron, unfortunately, Connor. I don't know if the future is bright. If he's already not being active in year 1, I would hope that there's a world where they're adding more to that edge room next year. Doesn't look promising for his future.
Most definitely, Matt. You want to get into some of these calls and some of the chats?
Yeah, we got a couple on the line. So we're going to go first out to one of our favorites, the Beast Breaker.
Oh, my God.
Second win starts today. But in order to start that second win, do what you did last time when you played the Bengals. Outrun them. At least 75-25. And don't get sacked. That's all you got to do. Stay on your feet. And this new guy that we got from the Colts, let's see how he does. But I don't see Alan Lazard, staying around much longer because he's going to be, gone. He has to go. I'm sorry. He doesn't fit. He looks lost. It's like, dude, you look like you lost. You're in a lost world and a lost cause. You don't belong here. It's like you're weak. He should have been traded a long time ago. Clemens is going to be gone after next year, which I say, thank you. Please get rid of him. No. Everybody, please get rid of him. He's nothing more than penalty problems.
He's had a renaissance this year. Michael Clemens has looked like Jadeveon Clowney in Aaron Glenn's eyes, I'm sure. But in all seriousness,
I don't see anything.
He's had a better year than most
guy.
people.
The guy has no potential. And plus, he's not qualified. He's too slow. He's cheap. And when I watched that Buccaneers game a couple of weeks ago, I'm going, how did this guy miss? Are you blind? It's like, dude, how about we just put the sign on from the Nintendo game and go, whoops, you missed. It's like, what? And have the eyes pop out like Roger Rabbit going, yeah. And knowing me, I've seen it all, but it's just this team needs a whole reboot. And what we're gonna have to do next year, $5 billion. We're doing big 5. You know why we're doing 5?
What are we spending it on?
Two ice baths. We're gonna get two ice baths.
$5 billion.
You know why? I've been bitching for the last several months that they need to put an ice bath in the locker room and let these boys soak the pain out of them bones because it's going to sting like hell, but it's the best part. Also, we need to get rid of some of that old talent we don't need. We have to go get new meat. We need fresh boys. Fresh. I'm not talking just, right away. I want something that's going to hit. I'll give you an example. Nate Newton, Lawrence Taylor, Jason Ferguson, Dwayne Robinson, John Abraham, Mo Lewis, Marvin Jones, even Victor Green, Ty Law, even Darrell Revis.
What about offense?
We need those guys. We need guys like that. Speed, quickness, finesse, and also some agility. And also, there's one other thing that brings it all together. Testicular fortitude. It's what we have to bring to the table. It's what you have to bring to this table.
Hell yeah.
And here's what I want these new guys to learn. Learn how to sack. Because this year, what's our sacking rate have been?
Low. Very low.
Caca. That's caca. That's garbage. I'm sorry. Our team looked like complete dog shit, and it's bad. I'm sorry to say we need new men. And why is Quincy being benched? What did he do? What do you really do?
He's, quote, underperforming, according to the coaching staff.
Well, if he's underperforming, then you know what you have to do? Get rid of him then. Then what are you keeping him for? That's a simple answer. What are you going to keep him for? For a prop? You got to use him sometime. You just can't let him sit there and waste away. You got to learn to get up. It's time to produce. Everything's about producing. It's about making money. You want to make money, you can't sit on your ass. You got to get off your ass to make the money. Let's look at you guys are making good money, correct? Connor's already
talking about the Jets. Can't complain.
Well, Connor, you're already a worldwide star. You've gone to Italy. I got to give you credit for that.
Thank you.
And Matt O'Leary, I like this guy. Sure. He's funny. He's a funny guy. You're a funny guy, but I was gonna say, it's gonna be hard for you to play Santa Claus.
You think so?
I think so. If he grew that beard and all the way, we might do that. Ho, 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 Merry Christmas. But on the better note, for our boys, strike first, strike hard, and no mercy. Finish what you did do what you do in Cincinnati. Bring it to New York and let our boys win. We want to win at home. We won on the road. Let's do it now. Today's the day. It's cold enough. Get some balls, suck it up, and get it together.
Hell yeah.
Now. N-O-W. Now.
Attaboy, Beast. Phenomenal call from our friend Beastbreaker. I did not know that I had the future of playing Santa Claus in my life. That was what I was not expecting to hear on the pregame show.
I don't know where that segue came from, but those words did exit Beast Breaker's mouth. Yes, Matt O'Leary, you were hearing correctly.
Amazing. From one legend to another, Doug on the bed.
Oh yeah.
How do I top Beast Breaker? I feel like I get screwed every time after it. But,
I don't know. That was some call.
Yeah. To people who are like worried about AD Mitchell like not starting, it's a lot harder to learn an offensive scheme like on the fly than you just learn a defensive scheme. Like for the Colts and Sauce, they're just going to tell them play man or like cover 2, cover 3, cover 4. Like wow, there's nuances. At the end of the day, they're all the same base coverages that you can learn pretty quickly. Whereas offenses are a lot more nuances and differency. So I think AD Mitchell will probably play Thursday night, but I'm not shocked that he's benched. Again, Mechie's been here for 2 weeks now. AD's only been here for 4 days. It's a lot. That's a lot to ask a guy to learn an offense in 4 days. I know you could have like maybe played him 10, 15 plays and asked him just to do like simple go routes and stuff like that. But still, I'm okay with it because they want him to get a better understanding of the offense.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point, especially when you bring up the defensive side versus the offensive side. Their assignment's a little bit more straightforward, especially with a guy like Mozzie Smith.
Yeah, like Mozzie Smith, you're a D tackle. Okay, you're gonna run forward.
He's a one tackle.
Else you're gonna do, and especially since he's a D tackle. It's not like he's an edge where sometimes they run contain or something. He's a D tackle.
He's not even a 3 tack too. He's just a 1.
No, it's a 2. You, buddy, you're running forward. Try to get pressure or try to make a run stop. It's not rocket science. Like not to be rude. Like that's what you're doing. And again, if you're on the back end, like again, we're sauced the Colts. Obviously, also him dropping that pick. What he tweeted him at. Seen that before. He has no ball skills whatsoever. It's crazy. But
it reminded me of the Dallas one. I think Connor said that too.
Yeah. Dude, exactly. And that would have been a pick 6 too. He just jumped the gun and dropped it. It was
yeah. So not concerned about that. I think AD Mitchell will play Thursday night. And Matt, you were tweeting all day yesterday with the games watching. I think Fernando Mendoza is a guy. I have been watching college football all season. I'm not one of the people who just started watching yesterday.
I know that. You're always in here talking quarterbacks.
You were talking about Caleb Downs last year, Doug.
Caleb Downs, if quarterback wasn't an issue and you could just take BPA, I know he's a safety, but Caleb Downs does so much. It's like there's an argument with Kyle Hamilton, or what is his name?
Yeah, you got it.
That's the argument with Caleb Downs. That's why he's going to be a top 5 to 10 pick, because he just does everything. He can also do punt returns for you too. So he does everything. That's why, like, screw positional value, he's just that good of a player. But obviously the Jets are going to go quarterback with their first pick. It seems like, and again, if they go this year, I think Mendoza is the guy. I know Ty Simpson has looked good. I just think Mendoza fits the modern offense better. And like, I don't like that Ty Simpson has now only had 8 starts. Yes, he's playing in the SEC, so it's not the same as Zach Wilson. It is higher competition. But Mendoza played at Cal, now he's doing Indiana. He's on Big Ten. And he didn't have the great game yesterday, but we all watched it. That drive was incredible. Also, shout out to that back ref to get it right. Call right. Incredible. Like refs get
that didn't look like the right call on TV at the time, too.
Yeah, refs get shit on a lot, fairly so. We got to give him credit when they nail it. That guy was like on it. Like I've never seen better reffing in the past year plus. So shout out to that ref for actually getting the call right and nailing it. But yeah, Mendoza's a guy. And then let's hope the Colts keep losing and that pick just goes higher and higher, because like
they just turned it over on downs inside the red zone.
I have a mute. I don't want you
entering the fourth quarter now. Yeah,
I have it on mute in the background. I don't want you guys to get a strike or anything. I'm not a crazy person. So.
Thank you. So this is why we love you, Doug.
Yeah. No, let's hope the Colts keep losing. Honestly, if you look at the Jags schedule, the Jags have a very easy schedule. They're not good, but they have a very easy schedule, and I think they could catch the Colts and maybe win the division. Let's hope that Colts pick ends up like in the teens, and that'd be great.
Most definitely.
Yeah, and like they have it next year too, so it's like a multi-year hate watch. Same with the Cowboys, multi-year.
Cowboys or Packers, whichever one. But it's probably let's be honest, it's going to be the Cowboys, but Cowboys or Packers, because you just want the better 2 picks. And people are. I think the only instance in where we really can't get Mendoza is if the Saints get one, and if they fall in love with him,
which is on the table.
Yes, but like we don't know who their preferred guy is. We know based on yesterday, the Jets seem to love Mendoza with the whole contingent being there. But if the Saints get one, maybe they love Ty Simpson. So who knows what they're looking for? Who knows what? I can't remember the name of their coach.
Kellen Moore.
Kellen Moore. Thank you. Who knows what Kellen Moore is looking for his offense? Maybe he likes the more mobility upside of Kellen Moore of Ty Simpson more than Fernando Mendoza. I know Mendoza offers mobility, but like that's not his go-to thing. So maybe he likes the off-kilter stuff that Simpson does. So, but if the Saints don't get one, it would have to be the Titans getting one, probably, if you want to trade up.
Well, yeah, I think with the Saints, they're an interesting team. If I had to make a prediction, what they do, I think they pick number 2 overall. I think the Titans are picking number 1. I don't think the Titans win another game this year. I really don't. And if so, it's like week 18. I think they're that bad. I think they can win one game by the end of this season. So I view those teams picking in the top 2. What I see New Orleans doing is trading back to like the 15, 20-ish range, getting an absolute haul for that pick, and then taking Garrett Nussmeier. Garrett Nussmeier's dad.
He just got benched last night, so I don't know if they take Garrett.
Yeah, so that's the interesting thing, because he was so incredible last year at LSU, and he was someone who people viewed as a top quarterback if he were to come out last year, and he struggled this year. The Saints' evaluation on him is going to be interesting because his dad, Doug Nussmeier, is their offensive coordinator. So he's going to know the most about Garrett than anyone.
I would hope so.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to see how
maybe he's an absentee father. We don't
know.
know.
Who knows? Maybe he just remembered, oh, Garrett, my amazing son. Yeah, come back.
Got benched by LSU. We'll take him in the first round.
Yeah. Also, with the Titans, I don't think they'll go away from Cam Ward because they just drafted him. But with a new coach, who knows? He might not like Cam Ward. So, like, that's the weird thing they have there going on with the Titans. New coach might think Cam Ward's not the guy. So you never know. They could pull like a Cardinals and do the Kyler Murray, Josh Rosen thing. So it's not out of the question. And I don't think it will happen. I did respond to Matt's tweet. I'm all for trying to get Joe Burrow if he wants out.
Yeah.
It's for Joe Burrow in a heartbeat. Like, if you want to give up, like, your both of the 2 ones this year, or like the one this year and 2 of the ones next year, I'm all for it. Because that's what it takes. And like throw in a second, like, get it done. But again, a lot has to happen. But if it could happen, go for it. Like, why not? That's proven commodity.
Yeah, you're getting a top 5 quarterback in this.
Yeah.
And it's like it'll be the best offensive line he's ever played behind.
That's the other point. You have the O-line to protect him and keep him upright that he hasn't had throughout his career.
And he'll have Garrett Wilson. Like, so again, I don't think it will happen, but if the opportunity like arises, the Jets can't be the one to like lose that bidding war. There's no reason, no one can outbid them. So I don't think it happens, but if the opportunity does arise, no one should be able to outbid them based on what we just did this past week. It sucked, but it was the right move in the long run. Like, I was at work and I saw Sauce Gardner got traded. I pressed the rap sheet thing a couple times because I thought it was a fake account. I feel like that's what everyone does. I'm getting trolled right now. Why is Adam Schefter tweeting Sauce Gardner, Jessica?
Well, I saw the Sauce tweet minutes before where he said New York.
I didn't see that.
And I thought he was trolling, but then when I saw I didn't think twice about it.
I saw the rap sheet tweet first. I was like, this has to be a troll. And then I see it. No, this is real. I was like, oh shit. But I was like, then sorry for my language. There's young kids and Connor watching, but it was like when you see the compensation, it's like, I mean, yeah, you kind of have to at that point. It's like 2 first and
they got a ton for him.
And 80 you can't not turn it down. And the Quinnen trade, you got exactly insane compensation value. So like, and all you guys have said it. Muji is the one you're more confident now, right now, out of the trio, out of the duo of him and Glenn. We'll see. This game's gonna be gross. I'm gonna watch it because I watch every game just like we all do. It's gonna be gross. I'll have Red Zone on my laptop. I'll have the game on my TV.
Oh yeah.
I'll probably switch to Red Zone on my TV to the game on my laptop by halftime because the game is gonna be so gross, and it's just gonna be awful.
Doug, before we let you go, I have to ask: are the Rangers ever going to win a game at home this year?
I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. They play the Predators Monday night.
They just got blown out of the water last night.
Yeah, but then you see them on the road, and they're incredible. It's crazy.
7-1-1 on the road, right?
They play the Predators tomorrow night. That's they should be. I can't say should, but they can beat. They can beat them, and then they'll play They play the Lightning in Tampa Wednesday night. Watch them beat the Lightning in Tampa.
Yeah.
It makes no sense how they're so good on the road and just awful at home. Like, it's frustrating. Also, I don't have ESPN Plus anymore, but also that's a different thing for this discussion. So I'm not able to watch all the games. But so I get updates and stuff, and it's like, what? Like, it's not like I want them to trade Panarin. Like, I like him. He's in a
What's
great
his value? That's the question.
You're still going to get a good return for him because I think on a playoff team, you're going to get.
He's a top goal scorer. Like he's a key role player on a
not a key role player. He's on most teams. He'd still be a top 6 winger and plug right in. And if you get him,
no, I agree. I'm just saying, like, that's like a piece that a championship. Like, I could see him at the deadline because he could be like an extra push for like a really, really, really good team.
Like a lot of people are linking like the Wild or the Hurricanes. Like the Hurricanes, you already have their first round pick.
The Hurricanes, I'm not the biggest fan of, like, trading within the division, but there's a price for everything.
I feel like in baseball and football, yes. Hockey, not as much because there's like 20 teams.
So many teams in the division. I get that. Yeah.
Like it's different. Like if they were trading with the Devils, obviously not. Fuck that. Sorry again, language for those kids and Connor. Sorry. Or if you're trading with the Islanders, which would never happen. Yeah, obviously that's a no. But like trading with the Canes, who I know we played with the playoffs, owned them in the playoffs actually. But if you're trading with the Hurricanes, like that doesn't really do me much,
No, totally fair.
But 100%. If they don't win against the Predators Monday night, I don't know when they're going to do it.
It might be like 40 and 1.
Outside of the Sharks game, they've only scored 1 goal at home. It's crazy.
Yeah, I was there against Washington, which I think was like the 3rd or 4th game. I think it was the 3rd game of the year. It wasn't their home opener though. No. They didn't. Charlie Lindgren shut them out. They were on the power play, no life. They looked like they
sucks this year. It's brutal. It's brutal. But Rangers fans like, oh, why are you paying the goalie $11.5 million? Shesterkin's not the issue.
Clearly, yeah.
He's playing great. You don't score, and Jonathan Quick's been the best backup. Did you see the save he made the other night against Detroit? That was ridiculous. But the Rangers are frustrating. Thank God I don't have an NBA team to root for. I just root for players, so that's not bothering me.
There you go.
I'm a Nets fan, so I literally have the 4 worst teams.
My favorite NBA player is Denny Avdija, who's having a very good year. So
so you're a Wizard. So you're you like the Wizards for a little bit, but now he's on a good team. He's on a good team with the Trailblazers.
This team's gonna suck. I think Garrett Wilson will score a touchdown. I'll tell you that much. But
I like that.
Oh yeah.
But this game will suck. We're gonna watch it because we hate ourselves, and we have to watch it. People ask me like, "Why are you a Jets fan?" Great question. I was born in Massachusetts, the family who were Patriots fans and Red Sox fans, but I grew up in New Jersey, and I stupidly chose my own path. This
is your own fault.
Yeah, it was set up for you on a silver platter too.
I definitely got the shit end of the stick in that deal, except for the Yankees, who have been good, and the Rangers, who have been like up until now competent.
Yeah, fair enough.
But go Jets, lose out, get the number 1 pick, and we'll be good.
Thank you, Doug.
Thank you, Doug. All right. We have another call that we'll get to in a second, but do want to give a special shout out to the sponsor of the program. Thank you so much to Sleeper. Think you know football, then try to turn your football knowledge into real money with the Sleeper app, the ultimate fantasy sports app that can turn game day into payday. Just download the Sleeper app and pick more or less on your favorite players. With more stats than any other daily fantasy app, just choose 2 or more of your favorite players from pregame or live. Pick more or less from the predicted stats, and you can win up to 1,000 times your money if your picks win. Use my promo code O'Leary, and you'll get up to a $100 match on your first deposit. New offer, free $20, no deposit required promo. Terms and conditions apply. All right, let's get back to the phone lines. Keeping the train rolling, we're going to go out to Brick City. What's going on, Brick City?
Hey, what's up, Matt? What's going on, Connor? What's going on, guys? How you doing today?
Good.
I'm excited. We can potential maybe 6 round first round picks, in the future. But I want a quarterback now. I don't want to wait till 2020. I don't care if it's Trevor Lawrence. I don't care if it's Joe Burrow. I don't care if it's a first round rookie. Let's build around our quarterback. Let's finally kick some ass in the AFC. Let's build a foundation that we can be proud of. And I'm hoping that we lose to the Browns so we can secure that number 1 or number 2 position in the draft. But I just hope that we come out competitive. I hope that we're not staking up the joint. I mean, because coming off a bye, Jeff fans, we're not good coming off the bye.
That's true.
We've been terrible. So if we can just come out competitive, I don't think we win in this game. But as long as we come out competitive and we have some dog and show some fight, I think that this tank job, I don't want a tank. I'm not a fan for the tank, but I understand the tank move. It's something that the Jet fans can be proud of. Is who's out there that you guys see that could be the potential first round pick or potential insert veteran quarterback not named Kyle Murray. I do not want his little midget behind over here.
I mean,
half the season. The rest of the season, once the new Call of Duty drop, Kyle Murray either injured or so focused on the new Call of Duty. I don't want no
Him and
quarterback.
Sauce could have been great streaming partners, Brick City.
Oh yeah,
they
they
could have been great together.
I want to see some wins.
All right.
I gotta go to work, guys. Great show, man. Good night to meet you again, Connie. But I gotta go to work, man. I just want to say go Jets, and I'm.
Thank you, Brick
Thank
City.
you.
Catch you later.
Hell yeah.
Love it. Good call.
Most definitely. Kyler Murray, man. He got measured at 5'10" and a quarter at the NFL scouting combine, yet the Cardinals insist on listing him at 6'1" on their website, like they're gonna trick anyone.
That's a very generous 6'1". I'll tell you that much.
You see it in all sports, especially basketball. Like I'll be watching a tiny little point guard who is no taller than 5'9.5", maybe, and they have him. That's a perfect example. I was at the Long Island Nets game, the Nets G League affiliate at the Nassau Coliseum on Friday. Which, by the way, Matt, the Long Island Nets, they don't sell the 200 seats, but I'm still amazed how the Islanders played in that arena for the amount of time that they did. Like it's very convenient for both of us. So I'm not complaining.
Yeah. After the renovation, I think it's at 13,000, which was
So after the renovation, it's gotten up there, but still, it looks like such a small arena. But at the end of the day, they had a point guard who I went on the website and was listed at 6'2", and I'm not even joking, was probably 5'9.5". So we see it all the time in sports. They try to lie to us about the height. Kyler Murray is not 6'1".
No, certainly not. Let's keep these calls rolling. We got Nick up next. What's going on,
What's
Nick?
up, guys?
How are you?
How you doing, Nick?
Happy Sunday. The weather's actually relatively decent. So
Yeah, I thought it was supposed to rain today, but I'll take it.
It is in Jersey, I think, at MetLife.
Yeah. It's supposed to be, I think, like close to 60. Believe it or not, I was holding out. I was like, maybe the tickets will go cheap enough, and it'll be a nice day, just to be a nice afternoon to kind of hang out. But I haven't seen it. I think it's a little too late now to get there. But yeah, I actually think they're going to win the game today. It's giving me an ugly game, but I think they really are going to win. I mean, 2 weeks to prepare, and I know with the previous caller about like off of bye weeks, but that's not this regime per se, right?
Okay.
And one thing to consider is the closest thing that we have as an example to a bye week, right, is week 1. And granted, they lost, but that was one of the best weeks that we've seen, at least offensively. But one of the best weeks we've seen of this team.
Most definitely.
So it's something to consider. Now, I wanted to get both of you guys' opinion. Again, this is something I've said on a couple other shows and getting everyone's opinion in the community in general. But might be a pipe dream, but with the recent Nick Mangold passing and everything else, it kind of stirred up a lot of great memories, for us of fonder times, or for me of fonder times. And he, to me, was the anchor of that line. Him and Brick, obviously, those 2 first-round picks. And moving forward to get this team to another level, looking at the holes on the offense, Tyler Linderbaum's a free agent, and it could very well be a pipe dream. But I'm not sure what Baltimore's cap scenario looks like. But I think we can all relatively agree that you move Tippmann over to guard, he's a much better guard than he is center. And, I mean, for a rookie quarterback coming in to that line, like 4/5 of that line would be pretty awesome to me. And I think the Jets have a lot of cap room to do it.
I was just going to say that's where I was going to start. Is they have the cap space to do it after trading Sauce Gardner and Quinnen Williams away. I think it's an interesting thought. It's not really something I was considering. I thought maybe they just try to keep like Josh Myers and then kind of choose between John Simpson and Elijah Vera Tucker for the other guard spot. But if they want to go and upgrade, I mean, to me, Linderbaum is one of the best centers in the game. I think it'd be silly for the Ravens to let him hit free agency. But if he does, I don't hate that idea at all.
At the end of the day, it depends how much you have to pay him. I think that's the bottom line. I like the idea. The Jets have the room, like you mentioned. I think the Jets' amount of cap space is deceiving, though, because at the end of the day, they have so many holes to fill. Like, that cap space is going to be used up by the end of the offseason, guaranteed. Like, they have so many holes to fill.
Well,
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, I agree. I think, and the reason I say that name is because, like, again, like, the sad part is we always have to look towards next season at this point in the season. But looking at the free agent list and, like, the holes offensively, defensively, in terms of, all Pro Bowl caliber players, to me, on the offensive line, he's head and shoulders above the rest of any position, tackle, guard, center, right? And even wide receivers and things of that nature, there's no true, let's just say, wide receiver one that we could sign here as a wide receiver two or things like that. So to me, looking at the whole free agency class, he's probably one of the top 3 players in the whole free agency class.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good point. And one that I honestly wasn't considering, but it would be a massive upgrade to the offensive line. And, I've been saying it, like, you got to do whatever you can to put your rookie quarterback or your young quarterback in the best position possible to succeed.
Would you guys be willing to bring AVT back? I mean, I think it's a thought that needs to. I think it's food for thought at the end of the day, because he's a very good player when he's on the field, and I don't think he's going to cost you that much money. Granted, he missed the entire season due to an injury suffered before the season even got underway. I think you could bring him back for maybe a price that is team friendly, and if so, I'd be all in on doing that. Maybe not as a starter, but certainly in a premium backup role.
Yeah, if I have my choice and I have to choose between John Simpson and Elijah Vera Tucker, I think I'm taking Simpson.
Same.
Just because AVT has the significantly higher ceiling. I just don't want to go into a season where you're relying on him to be a starter, because unfortunately he's just gotten hurt way too much for me at this point. And I know not all the injuries are like linked together. It was a tricep on one side, a tricep on the other side, and then it was either the Achilles or the knee. I don't remember.
And then it was an Achilles and then an ankle as well.
Yeah,
he's working on all the limbs basically.
Yeah,
right. So that concerns me a little bit. Talented guy, like him a lot, but I'm not gonna lie to you, I'd be a little worried about the injury history.
It's a fair point. Absolutely,
guys. Pleasure. Thanks for having me. Hopefully, we get another win today. Go Jets!
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, Nick.
Let's go, Nick. Thank you.
Connor, we haven't made our bold predictions yet. Do you want to get into some bold predictions? Last week, I don't think either of us were correct. I had Isaiah Davis rushing touchdown. That was wrong. Although he did have a good game, so I'll count that as half a point. And you said Brandon Smith over 50 receiving yards.
Oh my God, that was an outlandish take. That might be my worst. Either that or my Avery Williams touchdown. Those might have been 2 of my worst takes ever. Yeah, okay. This game, it's gonna be an interesting one. Absolutely. We'll do our hot takes and our score predictions as we do every week. With the Jets, I'll say my hot take is I'll say give me Justin Fields over 300 total yards.
That is a very hot take against this defense.
Perfect. I'll say that. I'll say Justin Fields over 300 yards. I'm going to go really bold. I think Fields, the biggest thing for Fields is I think he has that confidence back now. He was super vulnerable. He was destroyed entering last week. He had put on a great performance. I think he has that confidence back. I'll go really bold. I'll say over 300 total yards.
Okay. My bold prediction is actually going to be a Browns prediction for this game. Browns are scoring a special teams touchdown today. Either a blocked kick or punt or some sort of return. One of their touchdowns is going to be a special team score today.
I like it. Nathan, who was actually at the game today, who called into my show last night and said he was at the game, says Breece Hall is taking kick returns in warmups.
That's weird. Okay. Yeah, that's a little strange.
My first thought went to, Khalil Herbert's out, but we haven't even seen Herbert returning kicks these past few weeks. It's been Williams on punts, excuse me, and then like the Nwangu, Davis, Williams conglomeration on kicks. Interesting situation to watch.
Just don't get hurt like the other running back who was back there returning. Braylon Allen.
Yeah, that's like, you don't put starters out on kick returns. Like, I think it's so dumb. Like, we used to see it with Tyreek Hill and things like that. Putting starters out on kick returns, I think, is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's not something that I like to see happen. It just worries me with the injuries. Have someone, who's your 5th cornerback and does it, or your 4th running back and does it. Put Jasir Taylor out there, Matt. You saw the Jets acquired him. That was at the buzzer. That's right.
They announced it after the deadline. It was a late round pick swap. Put 5'7" Jasir, 5'7", 145 pound Jasir Taylor back there to return kicks.
All right, I love it. We'll keep the calls rolling. Our friend who has a great name that's not going to show up here. It's Allen, but he says "lose out" as his name. Very fitting for our guy Allen.
5-0 last night, Matt. That was beautiful. First of all,
Love to see it.
You could shake your head, kid. Don't worry, the Rangers still suck. A couple of comments.
Another cocky Islander fan. What else is new?
Yeah, trust me.
You wanted to blow up the team before the year even started. Alan.
I do, and you know what? The guy next to you actually does want to do the same thing. He wants to trade players too. Okay,
Peugeot and Lee stock going up, baby.
Yeah, trade them both. You had me at Tyler Linderbaum. Go Hawkeyes. Tyler Linderbaum is going to make 18 million plus in the free agent market. Love the player. He's the #1 run blocking center. Do I think the Jets will pay him $18 million plus? I do not.
I don't think so.
Love it. I would love it. I just don't think they'll do it. Maybe they can get his understudy in Logan Jones at Iowa, maybe round 4. He's a guy I think that could start in the league next year. As far as other free agents that make sense for the Jets going forward, again, Alec Pierce, wide receiver 2, if he's available, I'd go sign him. He'd be a great compliment to Garrett. I would sign Leo Chanel right away, 250 pounds. No more midget linebackers. Let's get a guy who actually can have size. And finally, as far as the draft is concerned, I am not trading, as I said this to you yesterday, Connor, I am not trading any 2027 first-round picks to move up in this draft. No chance. I don't think there's anybody worth trading up in this draft for to trade future assets. It makes no sense. I know people are a little antsy. They want the quick fix. But when you have 3 first-round picks in a loaded, and I mean a loaded 2027 draft, you do not sacrifice that for a quick fix to go get an average to maybe a little above average Fernando Mendoza. I just wouldn't do it. I don't think it
are you team wait until 2027, Alan, for a quarterback?
Absolutely.
Okay.
If trust me, if Mendoza's there when we pick and they love him, I'm fine with that.
Okay.
I am not trading up to go get him.
I think that's totally fair.
Well, I am not trading up to get Ty Simpson. I'm not trading up to get Jordan Tyson. Okay. I'm not trading up to get Carnell Tate. No, thank you. None of those guys. They're good players. They're not game changers. The 2027 draft at the quarterback position and at the wide receivers position have game changers. So I know people are afraid of another 4-13 season in 2026. Unfortunately, you might have to wait another year. You might.
I think you're right. I mean, this year they're probably on their way to a 1-3 win season. And I think unfortunately next year it's probably going to be, I think 4-13 is probably fair. Now I know that, you still have free agency and they have a ton of draft picks, but with all the focus on the 2027 draft with the 3 first rounders, then that to me is really the year where I think they're going to make the push forward.
I would rather add a 4th first-round pick in 2027 if you want to trade back in this draft, and if someone covets a certain player, and if someone offers me another pick next year, absolutely. You give me a 4th first-round pick in 2027, sign me up. Rather than, again, this is a very average draft where you can find players in the 25 to 55 range who could be just as good as guys in the 7 to 15 range. I want depth. I want guys that you could fill certain holes. Get me a safety because, again, I can't watch Tony Adams anymore. He's not an NFL safety. Get me another edge because I can't watch Braden McGregor anymore.
He's terrible. He's worse than Clemens, in my opinion.
He's an awful player. Get me a bigger linebacker, whether it's a Sonny Styles, if they don't sign a Chanel in free agency. I can't watch 2 midget linebackers anymore. I just can't. Okay. Get me another wide receiver. Get me a true center. You can fill in gaps in the 2026 draft. And if you don't get the quarterback in this draft, you can go all in and you can find a guy like a Sayin or a Manning or a Dante Moore, who I don't think will be in this draft, he'll be in next year's draft, or a Sellers. There's going to be so many options in 2027. That's when you got to basically go all in. Again, do not do that in this draft. Go get depth players. Go get guys who could be nice pieces. And then if you don't find your quarterback in this draft, you do so in 2027. That's pretty much it, guys. And go Browns. Have a good one.
All right. Thanks, Alan.
I mean, I think you made some great points because even if the Jets don't take a quarterback, those picks are still so valuable. 3 picks in the top 50 don't grow on trees. So, Matt, suppose the Jets don't allocate any of those picks towards a signal caller. They could still plug holes like Alan mentioned and bring in legit players to come and start right away.
Yeah, I'm not going to go and say I'm team 2027 quarterback no matter what. I've said it before. I like Mendoza and Simpson enough to take them, but as Alan laid out, I would not trade up for either one of them. Like if the Jets somehow they win 5 games this year and they're picking 6th, I'm not trading up for Fernando Mendoza or Ty Simpson. If one of them falls to me, different story, right? I'd be okay taking them, but I'm not giving up the assets to move up and get one of those 2 guys. At that point, I'd rather, I think you just eat it, build out the rest of the roster, and make your move in 2027.
Yeah, most definitely. And at the end of the day, I'll keep reiterating it. I want this rebuild to be done the right way. If it's not this year, it's all right. But I want the rebuild to be done the right way at the end of the day.
100%. We're a little over an hour here, so 45 minutes to kick off. Any kind of final thoughts as we come to a close here on this pregame show?
No, just looking forward. Hopefully it's a fun game and not as bad as we are predicting. I'll say the final score is 13-9. Give me the Jets.
You think the Jets are going to win this one?
I think the Jets are going to win. Yes,
Okay.
I do have the Jets winning.
I think the Browns win this game. I'm going to say 20-13.
Okay.
And like I said, 13 points from the Browns offense, the extra 7. I said a special teams touchdown. I'll be a little bit more specific. I'll say a punt block returned for a touchdown. But for my bold prediction, special team score for the Browns today.
There we go. Love to hear it. Matt, great doing this with you. As always, short week for us as well. Back Thursday, prime time. New England Patriots. Looking forward to it, man.
Yeah, we'll be live streaming for that. So stay tuned. Enjoy the game, everyone. I'm Matt. He's Connor. We'll catch you next time.